have come here to join our voices with you against racism, xenophobia and misogyny all over the world. Now, Trump personifies these terms, and his and similar narratives are practices that pose great threats to humanity. However, we are also here to protest racism taking place in other places in the world and in other aspects of our lives. Racism, xenophobia and misogyny preceded, exceed and are bigger than Trump, unfortunately. We have to take stance against all dictatorial regimes and condemn any cooperation with such regimes. Stop the war all over the world, wherever it takes place.
We need to be ready to confront the sometimes creeping, sometimes outright racism and Islamophobia that we see as an expression of American capitalism in the Trump presidency.
We should remember that tonight we're here because almost 2 million people signed a petition within less than 3 or 4 days in anger and in protest at Theresa May rushing over to hold Donald Trump's hand and prop up his credibility when everybody else was condemning him. That's what she did, and we should condemn Theresa May for doing that.
Journalists were arrested the day after his inauguration. They were reporting on protests on the streets that were taking place. Now what you've got is a lot of criticism about journalists actually reporting on the strange events that have beset the United States. What he is saying is that it's all fake, and yet he relies on fake material. He generates fake news. He actually puts out Twitter with wrong information. It is very, very worrying times when journalists are kicked off for just doing their jobs. And I think that what you have to understand is that it undermines democracy. It undermines the scrutiny of the organisations that actually carry out the functions of government.
I just really want to say that we just stand in a very, very proud tradition of standing up for refugees, for standing up for migrants. I'm really glad to hear that there are people in our council who will take the stand that Newcastle Council have taken, which is to say they won't spend a penny on Trump.
That we're not all one thing. We are multiple organisations, many different people. You guys probably all have very, very different opinions from one another, but we're all united in the common goal, which is standing up against hate, and I think that's a beautiful thing. And my personal reason for being here, for anyone who's read my sign, if no one can see it, it says, "My grandmother came to England via the Kimber transport. If she hadn't been let in, then I wouldn't be here to hold this sign." My grandmother, aged 3, came to England from Berlin. Her family couldn't get a visa and so perished in Auschwitz. So it just tears my heart up to see that we're not helping people. It just tears me up, and I think a lot of you can agree about that. So thank you. The atmosphere has been absolutely wonderful. This is my first ever big march, and I'd just like to thank all of you. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much.